What's up everyone? Welcome to a new lap guide here around Road Atlanta. As you have just seen the current world record for this week, I'm gonna take you through this lap that I've set during one of the qualifyings of the IMSA races and explain a bit how I was thinking through the lap, the different techniques you should use for the corners, how you should approach them, some reference points, and yeah, let's jump right into it. Alright, so here we are then, just before the start finish line on Road Atlanta. I'm gonna try and be as simple as I can, not making it too advanced, but we're coming into turn 1 here. Not really any braking boards to look for here, as you're braking so late, you can't really use the 100-yard board here. You're gonna have to use the end of the grass here. So coming in here, looking at the cockpit view, you wanna try and go over that grass with your left wheel. And you do that to open the corner more, so you can carry more speed through it and come quicker out of it, basically. So you brake right before this patch of grass ends. You open the corner all the way to the left. And here it's very important that you come close to this curb. You really dip down. You can almost touch it as well. You can hear me touching it a bit, almost, I think. And then super early on the throttle. Because if you miss this apex just slightly, it's very easy to go wide. And as you can see, there's not a lot of rubber out there. You might just get pushed wide, come over that curve out there, and yeah, it's not gonna set the next corner up well. So try come in, trade brake, rather over slow it a bit so you're close to the apex here, and make sure you can come back to the right before turn 2/3 up here, because now we're in a totally blind corner. Now we can't see the apex at all like we can in turn 1. So you want to open it sort of a little bit left of the middle coming into turn 2 here, lift off the throttle and carefully come on the brake. Just a little bit, like 10-15% at the first initial braking. And then start increasing it when you arrive at this curb, because you straighten out the wheel more here. Your peak pressure want to be somewhere around here, and that's also going to be your flick turn-in point, right at the end of this yellow curb here. Now it's obviously you don't want to you don't want to come in here looking only at that curb and then like look at it, wait and turn in. You want to like just acknowledge it and have it in the corner of your eye. When you arrive at it, boom, smash the steering wheel like 20 degrees left and you're gonna arrive at the apex perfectly. So you don't have to make this corner harder or more difficult than it is. Try and be careful on the brake, prepare the entry, use that reference, and trade brake all the way in, boom, on the throttle, all the way over that curb. And directly, we're coming into this downhill left-hander. This one is difficult, because you can push it a bit more than I did here, but it's better to save the tire for the rest of the downhill, the right, left especially, by having some more throttle control. So if I play it in slow motion here, you're gonna see I'm not full throttle until there. So all the way on this curb, you're just controlling the rear end with the throttle. Do not get a slide, do not get a slide. Okay, fine, I'm full throttle. Then you want to open up this right-hander down here. I think it's turn 5. Once again, you're going to have to lift off the throttle a bit. Throttle control is really important here on this track. Same on Daytona, but it's a bit different here because if you have a mistake, it might be more brutal here than on Daytona, because you need more throttle control in low speed there, but here you really need to control it in high speed as well. So yeah, throttle control down here. Try and make it understeer, alright? You don't want to get oversteer coming down here from too much throttle. So yeah, just try and be careful. Use that curb, and you use that curb to set this entry up here. Full throttle, and then on the brake, very, very quickly. But not that much, as you can see. I'm applying it very quickly, but only like 30%, I would say. Until I arrive here, you can brake a little bit more. But this is something special about this track. You don't really brake that much anywhere, because you can see this corner, it's bumps, it's a curb, and you're gonna be on the grass on the same time here. So you want to open it all the way up on this curb. If we go to chase cam, you can see I'm on the grass even with my right tires. Opening all of that corner up. As soon as it lands coming off that curb, you want to start applying the throttle and then using that inside curb. Very important for rotation to use this inside curb. The more you use of that curb, the quicker you can come on throttle and carry more speed out. Using all of the exit here, as you can see. Very important that you don't come up on this curb with understeer. If your car is not pointing like mine here, with sort of a... the front end is pointing more to the left. If it's pointing more to the right, you might just end up in the wall from getting washed off by understeer. So yeah, try and come off that curb early on the throttle. Use all of this curb, but only if the angle of the car is straight coming out of it. So, coming into this corner then, you have the 200 brake reference here, if you want to use that you can brake right on. Once again, pretty aggressive on the brake, and then very quickly coming off it. All the way in. This one is super important that you slow down on entry. It's very easy to, by accident, take a little bit more speed, because you can on this entry, but you will get pushed out by understeer on the exit here then. Try to slow it down on entry, and then focus on an early throttle. Let the car glide out all the way to the left here. Try and have as much of a straight wheel as you can. And careful on the brake. Once again, we're on a curve when we're braking, so we can't fully use the brake really. We go this wide, so we have a better angle for the corner. We can carry more speed when we come to the corner, but we can't brake more because of it. So go very careful on the brake. And then focus on the exit, as you have a long straight after here. I didn't get up fully on the curb here. You can take it a little bit more, but I managed to take really good speed through here anyway. And then use that exit curb. Make sure the car is like coming out on it pretty straight. If you're coming out sliding on it a bit with the rear, it's gonna just make it worse. So if you come out sliding, you might want to avoid that curb. You can only use it if you have a really controlled rear end. So, coming into the second last corner of the track, another really technical one. This is the only corner on the track where you really can get up to 100% brake. You want to look at the 100 board here. You can brake on it, but around 50 yards before it, like 150 yards probably. So there's not really any reference for it, but if you look at it coming close, you can sort of judge where the 150 would be. So you have the 200 here and the 100 there. In the middle there of those two, you want to get on the brake. As you can see, 100% brake is possible if the tires are in a good state, quite new. But also it works in this corner because it's downhill, so the car is very compressed to the ground when you hit the brake. Coming on entry, using that curb to go wide. Make sure you are not 100% brake when you come to this curb. If you are going to lock up, especially in quali. So try and just use it for initial brake, the 100%. Then you start coming off it before entering that curb, and then really starting to drop off. As you can see on that trace there, when you start turning in. Also, another important thing here is, if you shift down to second too quickly coming on this entry, you might get a snap on entry in the Acura. So try and stay in third a little bit longer, to around here. And here you shift down to second, then you can turn in. And make sure you don't off track here, obviously, first of all. But the track limit here is the middle of the car, this diffuser, with the grass here. So you can see I'm actually inside of the white line here, but I'm not getting an off track on the lap. So you want to use as much as you possibly can of this first curb. This corner is way more important than this one, because the more you set or hit this corner, the more of the apex you hit, the better your exit is going to be out of here. So go over the curb, focus on opening this corner. You're going to dip one tire down in this curb, and now just working with the throttle, control, control, control. And using all of that exit out on the curb, staying a bit to the left of the track here to make sure you get that traction. And then down in the last corner, flat out over the finish line. And that's a 108.265. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a comment and a like if you did. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one or in the next lap guide.